The movie unfolds with the tale of a man named Cao, who always finds himself at the bottom of his class. When asked about his skills by the guidance counselor, Cao swiftly replied that he excelled at sport stacking, a unique activity involving rapid stacking and unstacking of cups. With unwavering determination, Cao set his sights on becoming a sport stacking athlete. However, his teacher, sensing a hopeless future for Cao, vehemently opposed and urged him to bury his dreams deep within. The harsh reality of his situation silenced Cao, who had grown accustomed to enduring insults and ridicule. On his way home, Cao accidentally collided with a woman named Jay, known for her remarkable English grades. As Jay passed by Cao's eerily quiet classroom, she caught sight of him diligently practicing the art of assembling glasses. Astonished by his skills, Jay realized that Cao, despite being perceived as foolish, also suffered from isolation due to his peculiarities. Similarly, Jay, who has experienced the pain of being ostracized due to her lack of fluency in Thai, can empathize with Cao's struggles. Eventually, they found solace in each other's company. While Cao harbored extraordinary dreams, Jay's aspirations were seemingly ordinary but had a charm of their own. She simply wished to complete her education, pursue higher studies, find a job, get married, and have children. Nonetheless, Cao admired Jay's genuine kindness and was content with her down-to-earth nature. In a surprising turn of events, Cao even began teaching Jay the art of glass arranging, fostering a deeper connection between them. Years passed, and Cao's unwavering determination finally paid off as he emerged victorious in numerous prestigious glass arranging competitions worldwide. As time went on, his bond with Jay continued to strengthen. One fateful day, overwhelmed by his feelings, Cao spontaneously asked Jay to be his girlfriend. The following day, Cao shared his unwavering determination with Jay. He aspired to shatter the world record for being the fastest glass stacker. However, just as he was about to begin his practice, Cao's mother bombarded him with a series of tasks. Sensing the importance of preserving Cao's focus, Jay swiftly took charge of all the chores, including moving the car and drying the clothes. Luckily, Cao's dedicated training paid off. He surpassed the speed of the current record holder. To ensure uninterrupted training sessions, Cao made a bold request to Jay: they should buy a house together. Without wasting any time, Jay rushed to scout potential locations for their new home. When she found a place that exuded tranquility, Jay wasted no time in securing it for them. Witnessing Cao's sheer delight as he beheld the house, Jay suggested that he utilize the children's room as his dedicated training space, recognizing it as the loneliest area in the house. While Cao immersed himself in rigorous practice, Jay took on the crucial role of providing him with a calm and supportive environment. Through unwavering dedication, Cao finally triumphed over the current world record holder's speed. This victory shattered the doubts of his counseling teacher, proving that anyone can achieve their dreams as long as they persevere. 3 years later, as Cao relaxed, he stumbled upon a broadcast announcing a significant change in the rules of the glass stacking competition. The competition would now be conducted online, with participants required to upload videos showcasing their glass stacking skills. The winner would not only receive a substantial cash prize, but also get the opportunity to travel to America and other countries, promoting the art of glass stacking for 3 years. Upon hearing this, Cao felt an immediate surge of determination. As Jay had once told him, pursuing what he loved could lead him to brighter horizons, and perhaps this was the perfect moment for both Cao and Jay to embark on a new journey to America. Jay, a devoted and selfless individual, always stood by Cao's side, wholeheartedly supporting every decision he made. In addition to providing unwavering emotional support, she diligently attended to his needs, ensuring his meals were prepared, his water bottles were refilled, and his bed was kept clean. However, during one of her routine monthly shopping trips, Jay found herself unexpectedly drawn into a baby goods store, inexplicably compelled to purchase items for a baby. Bewildered by this sudden turn of events, Jay hurriedly confided in her friend, Yam, recounting the bewildering incident. Yam, after careful consideration, could only conclude that Jay's inherent nature as a caregiver shone through in her actions. This was evident in her nurturing of plants and her attentive care for Cao, who could be considered a grown-up child. With Jay at the age of 30, Yam encouraged her to take her relationship with Cao to a more serious level, while also urging her to prioritize her own happiness. If Jay continued to put others' happiness before her own, she risked forgetting her own well-being. Deeply affected by these words, Jay remained silent. The following morning, as Jay stood at the stove, frying eggs, she overheard a news report discussing the challenges faced by women trying to conceive as they grow older. It mentioned how the number of eggs produced decreases with age, leaving Jay momentarily speechless. The weight of this information settled upon her, casting a somber shadow over her thoughts. Meanwhile, Cao remained occupied with his relentless training regimen, determined to reclaim his title as the fastest glass stacker. After much persistence, he succeeded in breaking the record once again, proudly showcasing his achievement to his students. However, his elation was short-lived when his manager, Poor, presented a video featuring a young prodigy from Colombia named Edward. At the tender age of 10, Edward had surpassed Cao's record-breaking time, astonishing everyone. It was revealed that Edward had only started stacking glasses a year ago, and his dedication during school holidays had accelerated his progress exponentially. Despite being a fan of Cao himself, this revelation sent Cao spiraling into a state of panic. Confronted with this reality, Cao was consumed by an overwhelming desire to practice relentlessly, even disregarding Jay's plea to discuss something important. To him, defeating Edward had become the utmost priority. Jay, unable to bear this any longer, made a bold decision: she would leave their shared home and remove herself from Cao's life altogether. It wasn't until Jay's absence became palpable, when the water machine remained on and her room was found empty, that Cao realized the gravity of the situation. However, instead of actively seeking Jay out, Cao, averse to drama, labeled her as a traitor. Unbeknownst to Cao, Jay sought refuge in Yam's home, her actions driven by concern over Cao's inability to manage his own life without her constant care. Indeed, Cao struggled with even the basic task of turning off the noisy water machine, leaving him in a state of confusion and desperation as he frantically reached out to Poor for help, only to find his own head in shambles. Determined not to waste any more time, Cao arranged a meeting with Jay at a restaurant. He urged her to share the things he had neglected to listen to, but Jay simply expressed her desire to not go to America. Frustrated by this, Cao interrupted her, igniting a blaze of emotions within Jay. The exchange escalated into a heated debate, ultimately driving Jay to abruptly leave, vowing never to return home again. Initially, Cao found himself in a state of utter confusion without Jay by his side. However, amidst his bewilderment, a sudden idea struck him as he observed the cleaning service in which he worked. The service was led by a person named Metal, who possessed the knowledge to turn off the troublesome water machine. Without hesitation, Cao recruited Metal, entrusting her to manage his house without a second thought. Unaware of what awaited him, Cao woke up the next day to discover that Metal's culinary skills surpassed even Jay's. Impressed by her talent, Metal proposed the idea of hiring drivers and English teachers. Recognizing the brilliance of this suggestion, Cao eagerly agreed. Soon enough, two acquaintances of Metal from South Korea arrived, officially taking on the roles of Cao's driver and English teacher. Filled with arrogance, Cao boldly declared through his home's CCTV that he no longer needed Jay. However, his pride was short-lived as he found himself in the hospital, helpless and suffering from an allergic reaction to Cao's milk, a realization he hadn't previously grasped. It was in this vulnerable state that Jay appeared, visiting him. Jay emphasized the importance of Cao learning to live independently, offering her assistance in the process. She encouraged Cao to become accustomed to handling tasks on his own, starting with purchasing his own milk. Jay emphasized the significance of being courageous enough to ask the shopkeeper if he encountered any difficulties. Additionally, she took the initiative to teach Cao how to manage various household chores. Amidst Cao's dedicated cleaning efforts, Jay suddenly burst into tears upon discovering all her plants lifeless. Trying to console her, Cao assured Jay that she need not cry since they could simply buy new plants. However, these words only intensified Jay's sorrow, as she had nurtured those plants with a motherly love. Overwhelmed with guilt, Cao immediately promised to take better care of Jay's beloved plants and offer them more attention. Later that night, Jay shared with Cao some important numbers that he may need in the future. It was then that Cao realized he had lost an entire week, his fatigue evident. Unable to bear seeing him in such a state, Jay immediately offered to apply a medicinal plaster to his back. It was during this tender moment that Cao also realized that throughout all the household chores Jay had taken on, she never once complained in his presence. This realization struck Cao deeply, understanding that Jay's silent endurance was a factor in her decision to leave their home. Filled with remorse, Cao sincerely apologized and pleaded for Jay to return home, promising to fulfill any request she had. Without hesitation, Jay demanded that Cao sign a letter stating his willingness to sell their luxurious house. Caught off guard, Cao expressed his disagreement, refusing to comply. In an attempt to change Jay's mind, he even contemplated giving up his glass stacking pursuits. However, instead of melting under his efforts, Jay appeared to harbor an immense anger, determined not to let Cao's 10 years of struggle go in vain. She passionately explained the reasons behind her pent-up frustration. Upon learning of Jay's desire to build a harmonious family, Cao swiftly agreed. Yet, Jay, sensing a lack of sincerity in his eyes, rejected his words, deciding to bring an end to everything. Despite this, she continued to pray for Cao's success in achieving his dream of becoming the world's top stacking athlete. Surprisingly, instead of being deeply moved by her sentiments, Cao took immediate action, burning the certificate for the sale of their house. From that point on, Cao and Jay's relationship deteriorated. Despite Cao's efforts to preserve their house, Jay persisted in her determination to sell it. Eventually, Jay managed to break through Cao's defenses, and he was left with no choice but to return to his mother's home. Amidst these troubles, Cao found it increasingly difficult to focus on his glass stacking practice, and his speed suffered as a result. This revelation saddened Por, who had placed a bet on Cao's victory even though she was confident in his abilities. The following day, while waiting for his mother to finish her prayers at the temple, Cao had planned to practice stacking glasses. However, when he noticed his mother struggling to walk, he immediately abandoned his own plans. Instead, he devoted his attention to helping his mother ascend each step, realizing in that moment just how aged and frail she appeared. It dawned on Cao that all this time, he had been competing against his parents' aging process, and he had yet to make his mother proud. It was during this moment that Cao's mother shared a heartfelt revelation with him. She explained that the only way she could contribute to helping him achieve his dreams was through the power of prayer, mentioning his name in every heartfelt plea. Touched by his mother's words, Cao made a solemn promise to take his aspirations even more seriously, while also prioritizing the well-being of those around him, especially his mother. That night, Cao stumbled upon Jay's social media account, and in that moment, he witnessed the genuine sincerity she had always possessed. Despite shouldering the burden of household chores without complaint, Jay had continuously supported Cao's dreams. Overwhelmed with emotion, Cao immediately reached out to Jay, expressing his willingness to assist her in selling their house. With tears welling up, Cao apologized sincerely for everything that had transpired, and Jay quick to forgive him. True to his word, the following day, Cao embarked on the task of promoting their house to potential buyers. However, feeling stiff and unsure, he relied on metal to eloquently convey every intricate detail of the house. While leading the prospective buyers to a room that Cao typically used for training, he overheard their intention to transform it into a restroom. Determined to prevent this, Cao sought the advice of Por, desperately seeking a way to amass quick wealth. His ultimate goal was to buy back the house, a place brimming with cherished memories that could never be replaced. With winning the glass stacking competition as his only viable path, Cao promptly resumed his practice. Overwhelmed by frustration, Cao abruptly dismissed his class that day. Soon after, one of his students named Pai Lu shared a video in which she effortlessly displayed a remarkable speed in glass stacking, surpassing even Edward. Cao was awestruck, his amusement transforming into deep admiration. Curious as to why Pai Lu had chosen not to participate in competitions, he inquired about her reasoning. With a nonchalant demeanor, she responded that she didn't require external validation to prove her greatness. The joy of her accomplishments was enough to share with her friends. Pai Lu's words resonated within Cao, reigniting a glimmer of hope amidst the darkest of times. Determined not to waste any more time, Pai Lu wasted no time in teaching Cao the techniques to accelerate his glass stacking skills. However, their practice was suddenly disrupted by Metal's piercing scream, alerting them to the presence of a snake. With quick reflexes, Cao dialed the important number provided by Jay, highlighting the realization that problems would persist even when he remained silent. Sensing Cao's discouragement, Pai Lu reminded him of the unwavering support from his mother, Por, and Metal, emphasizing that they were still there for him despite the absence of Jay. With renewed unity, they divided tasks among themselves, allowing Cao to focus on his practice. Once the responsibilities were equally distributed, Cao delved into his practice with utmost dedication. However, chaos erupted once again as his house was suddenly plunged into darkness due to unpaid electricity bills spanning 3 months. Hastily, Cao rushed to settle the outstanding amount. Just as he breathed a sigh of relief, Jay's call interrupted his momentary respite, reminding him that it was the last day to pay the mutual funds. Exhausted, Cao succumbed to the overwhelming circumstances. However, Metal assured him that his driver and English teacher could provide assistance during this challenging time. Overwhelmed by discouragement, Cao contemplated giving up, convinced that a career as a glass-stacking athlete was not meant for him. However, Pai Lu shared her own experience, revealing that she found her speed during the tumultuous arguments between her soon-to-be separated parents. The pressure of their quarrels propelled Pai Lu to arrange glasses swiftly. Inspired by her words, Pai Lu urged Cao to harness the current pressure he was facing, emphasizing that success often emerges from repeated failures. Cao's enthusiasm rekindled, and he promptly recorded his glass stacking speed. Meanwhile, Cao's mother continued to fervently pray for his dreams to come true. The following day, Cao sought out Jay, announcing his intention to buy back their house with the prize money from winning the glass stacking competition. However, at the last moment, Edward dissuaded him from uploading the videos, expressing his reluctance to be separated from his mother. Touched by this revelation, Jay immediately embraced Cao, brimming with pride for his unwavering determination. Overwhelmed with tears, Cao tearfully apologized to Jay, realizing the extent of his selfishness, as Jay also had her own life to pursue. Although Jay refused to grant him a second chance since they had both moved on, she expressed that she had no regrets about the time they spent together. After a period of time had passed, Cao approached Por, expressing his heartfelt gratitude for the unwavering support she had provided. In a gesture of trust and confidence, Cao appointed Pai Liu as his successor to carry on as the coach. Following this, Cao visited his mother, acknowledging that it was her prayers that had paved the way for his dream to come true. As a testament to their bond, Metal had also joined forces with his mother. Now, Cao had transformed into an incredibly self-reliant individual. Once his house was tidied, Cao set off on his journey to America. Moral lesson from the movie highlights the value of self-discovery and personal growth, emphasizing the significance of valuing relationships and connections with others on our journey to success.